Hello, folks. So in this video, I want to talk about how actually currently focusing on my health and how I maintain my health. So on a day-to-day basis, I try to cycle. Almost I try to cycle consistently, every day, for around 5 kilometers every day. I try not to do more than that to not exhaust myself because if I do, I might not cycle the next day, and then I might just stop at some point by exhausting myself. So I did a video about consistency and like sustaining, and I'll link to that in the video description. So I cycle every day, and I recently started driving. Like I learned driving very recently only, and it's pretty late generally. I mean, this is considered pretty late. Usually, a lot of people learn driving very young, and so when people learn driving, they actually go drive to nearby places, far off places everywhere, right? In my case, since I learned driving only recently, prior to this, I was mostly just walking around or using public transport, and then so there was a lot of walking. So that was useful because when I walk, it's actually good for my health. The only con is that I'm going to be spending time like walking, changing vehicles or changing public transport modes and whatnot, like change from say auto to train, like or like bus to train and whatnot, right? So, in case of like if you're using your own vehicle, you will just go wherever you want, and you might not walk so much. You will actually have to spend separate time to actually do your workout, exercise, walking, and whatnot. In my case, it was good that as part of my daily routines and work and whatnot, I was able to like walk and get groceries or walk and go to my sister's house or a walk and like go to some nearby places, right? No, nearby shops and things like that. And also when you're using public transport, like say metro or using say a bus, I'll just walk and go. I use a lot of metro, so I'll have to walk say to the metro station or walk inside the metro, walk up and down in the staircase and whatnot, get out of the metro and then get auto or water or walk or get a bike or whatever, right? Or drive my own bike maybe. That's also something that I could do. But you still walk instead of like covering the whole distance by using a bike. I think the great thing about this whole idea of like going on with like daily routines and using that for your exercise is like you get your daily routine thing done and you also are able to exercise. But then it's also tricky because let's say you want to get something done in like very few minutes, like you want to be productive or like save your time, considering everyone's time is precious. Like you are like, no, my time is very precious. I can't spend time walking some half a kilometer and then getting grocery and then coming back half a kilometer. It takes time, so much time to actually walk. If the groceries are like say heavy or whatever, or it takes a lot of time to walk to and come back, and that's a waste of my time. I would rather spend that time doing something else and then do workout, exercise, walking, and everything separately, right? So that's also something that you could do. In my case, I don't. Instead, I just follow it as part of my daily routine. I'm okay with like spending some extra time here and there. Sometimes it's annoying. I'll be like, hey, it took so much time. Where did all my time go? Where? Well, it went because I was traveling like this, like that. I was walking around or doing things like that, right? But the good thing is that I invested on my health that way. But of course, I lost a bit of time. So it's like a bit of a trade-off there. Or what you do is you try to save up on your time and then use that time later to specifically just do your workout, exercise, walking, and whatnot, right? This is a recent thought I was just having. And the other thing is that I try to actually, these days I'm trying to actually do some fasting. This is something that I learned just recently on YouTube about how like YouTube was suggesting some videos, and like I was just looking at things here and there, some TED talks, and then I noticed this one talk by a doctor who was talking about how people can actually lose weight by doing fasting. So I've been trying that out, and it's been working pretty good for me, I think. And I've not been having so much cravings these days, and I've been able to maintain the timings I eat, and I'm feeling more light. So that way, it's a good thing. And I try to sleep soon these days, as in like as much as possible. I try to get more and more rest. So if I'm actually say tired, I go just lie down. I try to not use my phone, or sometimes when I'm eating, I try to not see the TV. If I'm like very tired, I would not see the TV. If I'm not tired, I might, but if I'm tired, I would just like try to just eat and like get done. Or else usually I'm just looking at the TV or like looking something. But I just eat faster instead and like just lie down or whatever. Like take my rest, whatever. Like whenever I can get some rest, I'll take that rest and focus and ensure that I get enough rest like, as much as I can. And sometimes it is crazy. I mean, like sometimes I end up sleeping a lot. I'm like, hey, I spend a lot of time sleeping, but then the good thing is that I need some level of the body needs some level of rest. When it's too abnormal, maybe you can probably check with the doctor. But in my case, I think it happens at times like end up sleeping a lot. I end up sleeping early and then waking up early. I end up sleeping early. I sometimes wake up late and things like that. And I've come to realize that it's still worth it to actually sleep a bit extra, so that it's worth that effort. It's worth the time, assuming that I feel energetic during the day after I sleep for that much time. If I don't, then yeah, that's a different kind of problem. And well, the other thing that I do is like I've been very mindful of like what I'm eating every day. I'm just trying to keep note of that. So like home food, outside food, what kind of food? Is it like a snack or is it like proper cooked food? Am I eating fruits? What is the ingredients of my food that I eat? Is it like really basic or is it does it have proper stuff in it, like like say proper vegetables, enough vegetables that can actually help with my body's nutrition requirements and things like that. That's still a work in progress, but I'm just keeping note of things and ensuring that I don't eat very something that I would regret. So it's more like nowadays I'm like, okay, if I'm paying for some food, like say some junk food or whatever, I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna pay and then eat junk food and then spoil my body and then get health issues and then pay for the doctor and then basically have issues and also pay for the doctor's cost uh, probably way later in the future because like some food just slowly uh, damages the body, not like immediately. At least that's what I believe. Like you slowly damage like things sometimes. So I am like okay, so I don't want to spend money and then like spoil my body. Instead, I would just not spend that money and try to ensure that I don't have much cravings or try to feed those cravings differently using home food and whatnot. If I'm craving for something spicy, eat something spicy in my house, some home food, things like that. And even in terms of time, I look at that like when I pay money and then pay money for a theater movie or a movie in a streaming platform, I'm like, okay, I paid this much and then I get some amount of entertainment, yeah, but how much time do I spend on it is something. So similarly, I apply the same idea for food. I spend this much money, I get this taste and it's all nice, but then what's the con? I look at the pro and con, both sides. In terms of movies and entertainment, there is a pro of entertainment, but there's also con of like the time if it's like too much. At least for me, there is that. Same way for food, the pros, the taste and the mood levels and all, versus the cons of the futuristic problems, consequences that can have on my body, that it can have the bad food can have on my body. So I just look at that and I'm like, okay, let's not like take up bad food or something that I would just regret. So these are some things I try to do to actually maintain my health, and I've also sometimes practiced meditation. I've also tried out things like running, but that was long ago. So recently, I've been just doing mostly cycling. And yeah, walking is pretty gentle for me. I just walk around to different nearby places, and yeah, that's how I'm trying to maintain my health. And I've also been trying to keep an eye on my weight these days, to actually see how my weight is changing based on my fasting and things like that. Like I basically fast from night 7 to morning 11, and that's how that happens. So there's some 16 hours of fasting usually, and then from morning 11 to night 7, I there's an 8-hour thing duration. I eat two meals or three meals depending on how much I like to eat, and then I again fast. I'll link to the video that I learned about, like where I learned about this fasting, intermittent fasting, and things like that. I'm still learning. I'll probably post more videos on that, and that's all I had for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.